Good morning, y'all. Happy Saturday. Thank you so much for coming back to watch another What Else Is Going On, aka WEIGO podcast YouTube video. I am Taria. Again, happy Saturday. I have missed y'all the last couple of days. I think the last video I did was Thursday. I feel like I've had 1,000,001 things going on from you ever get that feeling like there's so much stuff and stuff that you're missing, like, oh, I was supposed to do this and I was supposed to do this and I was supposed to record and this person's coming and oh, I got to talk to this person and oh, I got to call this person back. And I truly felt like my head was like, um, and instead of spiraling out, I decided to take a deep breath. So shout out to all the people that get it. And I was supposed to be recording with my boo Carlos. Shout out to my boo Carlos. We will be recording and bringing y'all an amazing episode. We were supposed to do that yesterday. Then I had found out some last minute things the day before. So it's a lot going on. But I appreciate y'all just still supporting and all of that good stuff. I know we all have a lot going on, and I appreciate y'all taking any amount of time out of your day to watch any piece of content I do. I really appreciate y'all for that. So there's a lot of things that have been happening. So I definitely want to do multiple videos. I'm thinking about taking off today, but y'all know how that goes. I'm not sure. I like to be out there making my money. But I definitely wanted to come and at least bring one video because, again, there's so many different things that I wanted to talk to y'all about. So let's get into them. First up, I know, y'all, we have talked about this. Oh, wait, I was getting ready to tell you the wrong story. Well, let's talk about that one first. I know that we have talked and talked and talked ad nauseum about Diddy and everything going on with him. And the more things that are revealed about him, for me, it's almost like I'm not even shocked, right? Because we've already heard things that depict the character of this person, but someone else has come out and told a story of their experience with Diddy. So let's get into it. I'm reading from Vulture. The Diddy Vibe story is crazy. Sean Diddy Combs allegedly threatened Vibe magazine editor Danielle Smith in 1997, telling her she would end up dead in the trunk of a car over a dispute about his cover story, Smith claims in a New York Times essay. According to her account, as the then editor-in-chief, she selected Diddy to be the cover star for the magazine's December 1997/January 1998 feature following the death of Biggie Smalls, his label's artist, and the runaway success of I'll Be Missing You, the musical tribute performed by widow Faith Evans and the hip-hop mogul. Working with Diddy on set proved to be difficult, Smith recalls, but she eventually managed to get him to wear white feathered wings for the cover's double issue, which had an angel/devil theme and a bad boy, what you gonna do cover line. Days leading up to the publication, Diddy wanted to have the final approval of the cover before it went to the press. Smith claims that after telling him no, he promised to storm the Vibe offices in Midtown East to select the images, forcing fellow employees to make a plan to keep her safe. When he did arrive, Smith smuggled proofs with her. When he did arrive, Smith, which is the editor-in-chief Danielle, smuggled proofs with her from office to office, managing to avoid the controlling founder of Bad Boy. He rushed into the Vibe offices or stormed the Vibe offices, and she had to snatch up the proofs and go from office to office to try to avoid this man where she worked. That is so crazy. He threatened her the next day, Smith claims, and told her, F you. After getting lawyers involved, Smith says Diddy faxed over an apology hours later. Servers containing the files were stolen from the offices. Now that's so now he came to the office, stormed the office, demanding to see the proofs. She had to smuggle them from office to office, managed to avoid a run-in with him. She had to get lawyers involved, and then he faxes over an apology, only to find out that servers were stolen from the office. That makes me think, did they just walk in and snatch servers, or did they pay somebody on the inside there to steal the servers for them? Vibe only managed to publish the issue because of dumb luck. I'm sorry. Vibe only managed to publish the issue because of dumb luck. An art director had a disc with the proofs that she had taken home. Much of the incident she'd hidden in her mind, considering this nauseating image. Much of the incident she'd hidden in her mind, considering this nauseating image of myself running and hiding from combs, of people at work protecting me, made me confront other things I'd possibly repressed about the feral and fantastic time in my life. Smith continued to work with Diddy professionally following the incident, attending many of his parties and catching up with him at industry events. It's bizarre to see myself smiling in pictures with someone accused of such heinous crimes. Yeah, and someone who told you that you F you and that you would end up dead. Smith's account comes days after Vibe magazine was named in the 10th lawsuit filed against Diddy in recent months over alleged sexual assault and sex trafficking, containing accusations from a woman who worked in the adult film industry as a teenager before moving to New York in 2004. The lawsuit alleges the woman was told to work Diddy's Hampton White Party in exchange for a modeling job for her and her boyfriend. By the third white party, Diddy allegedly demanded that she engage in sex with guests. Vibe is named in the lawsuit for publishing a photo of the woman. Not only did she allegedly never give the magazine permission to publish the image, but the lawsuit argues that Vibe's association with Diddy and frequent coverage of his parties only furthered his predatory behavior. So now Vibe is named in the lawsuit that this other woman has against Diddy. It is interesting, though, when I go back to what this former Vibe editor-in-chief said. He stormed this office, threatened her, told her F you, faxed her an apology. Servers were stolen. He had already been difficult to work with. And then she said, I guess she repressed it and attended many of his parties, caught up with him at industry events. And that line sticks out to me. It's bizarre to see myself smiling in pictures with someone accused of such heinous crimes. And again, someone who allegedly threatened to unalive you. So it's just crazy, some of the things that people have to put up with to keep their jobs or to maintain their status. It's wild. I truly do wonder, though, if it is going to come down to him ever being indicted on anything, on all of these things coming up from the past. You know, his mom a couple of days ago was rushed to the hospital due to chest pains. And the article said that he flew back to be by his side, because I had assumed when he posted that picture of him on his jet that we talked about some days ago that maybe he was leaving the United States because he knew what was coming down the pike. But they said that he rushed to his mom's side, and they think maybe the chest pains may have something to do with basically everything he's facing and being accused of. So, y'all, we shall see. Now, let's talk about Alec Baldwin. I have been giving y'all updates on Alec Baldwin, how he was on that movie set for Rust. And unfortunately, one of the workers lost their lives because the GUN had actual bullets in them and not like the fake ones that they're supposed to use. And a person was actually found partially responsible and sentenced to jail. So Alec Baldwin was put on trial, and I think then it was either dropped or dismissed, but then I'm using the words wrong, but basically he was set to go to trial again about this. And according to CNN, Rust movie set shooting trial, why the involuntary manslaughter case against actor Alec Baldwin was dismissed. So it has been dismissed. 2 days after Alec Baldwin's involuntary manslaughter trial began, and nearly 3 years after the fatal Rust movie set powwowing that led to the charge against him, a New Mexico judge said 8 words that left the actor visibly emotional and marked the trial's end. Your motion to dismiss with prejudice is granted, Judge Mary Marlowe Sommer told Baldwin and his legal team in court on Friday afternoon, prompting an already shaking Baldwin to remove his glasses and sob into his hand before embracing his wife, Hillary. The ruling concluded nearly 3 years of back and forth legal arguments and turnover in prosecutors leading up to the trial against Baldwin, who faced up to 18 months in prison and a $5,000 fine related to the October 2021 fatal papowing death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of the Western film. At the time of the papowing on October 21st, 2021, Baldwin was practicing a cross draw, pulling a POW from a holster on the side of his body opposite from his draw hand with a prop POW at a church on the film's New Mexico set when it fired a live round, unaliving Hutchins and injuring Rust director Joel Souza. On Thursday, Baldwin's defense team filed a motion to dismiss the case, stating that the prosecutors concealed evidence, potentially pointing to an external source of the live ammunition. And then in parentheses, it says prop supplier Seth Kenney, because the evidence would be favorable to Baldwin. On Friday, following a chaotic hearing that involved one special prosecutor taking the stand as a witness and another special prosecutor, Erlinda Johnson, resigning from the prosecution team that day, Marlo Sommer sided with the defense as a result of the evidence issue first brought to light Thursday and granted the motion to dismiss with prejudice, meaning that the case cannot be brought again. Special Prosecutor Carrie Morrissey, who on Friday answered questions under oath from defense attorney Alec, said she was disappointed by the dismissal. I believe that the importance of the evidence was misconstrued by the defense attorneys, but I have to respect the court's decision. That is wild. So it basically said that they believe the prosecution was suppressing evidence. Baldwin's team argued that state investigators did not properly share with the defense that a man had delivered a box of ammunition purportedly connected to the case to the investigators. So he does not have to go to jail like the woman that was convicted. I want to get her name because we talked about this before. I thought they were going to name it in this article. It was the movie Armorer. She was the Pow Pow supervisor for the movie, and she got 18 months in prison for this pow-powing. So Alec Baldwin had the POW and was getting ready to practice, and they were actually live rounds in it. So when he pulled the trigger, it hit the cinematographer and unalived her, and it injured the director. And the person who supervises, I guess, the pow-pows on set, I remember she was tried and she was sentenced to 18 months in jail. It looks like she was Hannah Gutierrez Reed was sentenced in March by a jury on a charge of involuntary manslaughter in the death of cinematographer Haley Hutchins. She was unsuccessful in her plea for a lesser sentence, telling the judge she was not the monster that people have made her out to be and tried to do her best on the set despite not having proper time, resources, and staffing. So basically that seems like the POW didn't get checked properly, and she was the POW supervisor on the set. So, yep, she was convicted of 18 months. Alec Baldwin, however, his charges have been dismissed, and it cannot be brought again. So I'm sure his wife and family are relieved, especially they're getting ready to film their reality show. Let's get into somebody that has nauseated me and just really made me upset. We talked about this. We talked about Amber Rose now in her support of Trump, and what really just grinded my gears about this was because we all know that Amber Rose has a slut walk where it's supposed to be a women taking back their power and their sexuality, owning their sexuality, nobody telling us what to do with our bodies. And then you turn around and support a man like Trump, who is actively involved in repealing Roe versus Wade and other rights. And in the last video that I did about Amber some months back, probably, her words were that Trump had a fair compromise when it came to women and their bodies. Again, you started a slut walk for women to own our sexuality, our bodies, not be ashamed. Nobody tell us what to do. And now all of a sudden, Trump has a fair compromise. So now women should be compromising when it comes to our bodies. We should be electing someone in office because we agree with the compromise that he's willing to give us over our own bodies. When that's in direct conflict of your past messages, but it must not be in direct conflict of that bag that she's definitely being paid by them. And to me, that's what makes it worse. People like her and a Candace Owens, it's one thing if people really believe this stuff. That's a whole nother discussion to get into, right? But at least they believe it. To me, for you to be the coon that's not allowed, that is allowing them to use you when you don't even believe it, all for money. And the danger, it's dangerous when you have a platform as big as hers and she's sending out this message. Let me let y'all listen to what she said before I get all.
Director, in a good economy, protecting us. I feel protected by Donald Trump. That's why I wanted to come.
Yo, I'm sorry. I was supposed to look. I didn't sat back. I was supposed to share the screen with y'all. I'm like, wait a minute. Why they can't see it? All right, here we go. Let's do this. Let's start over here. Then I'm gonna jump back over here.
There to protect, provide, make sure the citizens of the U.S. are, in a good economy, protecting us. I feel protected by Donald Trump. That's why I wanted to come out and publicly endorse him, because I just feel safe. I feel, and for me, Donald Trump is the epitome of an alpha male, right? He's there to protect, provide, make sure the citizens of the U.S. are, in a good economy, protecting us. I feel protected by Donald Trump. That's why I wanted to come out and publicly endorse him, because I just feel safe. I feel. And
she sounds so stupid. She can't even articulate. I feel like he's the epitome of an alpha male, and I feel like he's going to protect us. Why? What legislation? What policies and procedures has he put in place? Like, she doesn't even have anything to back her, which is why, again, this is even worse, because we know it's about money. Y'all can see, I love Cousin Rodney's. Y'all can see his response. It's just crazy to me. I think that's what just makes it like infuriating and frustrating and sad and angering, is that this is so important. There's so many things that are trying to be put in place that affect people that look like me and brown people and LGBTQ plus people, like all kinds of things, talking about 25, and you are willing to sit on a platform and use your platform to talk about supporting a man because he makes you feel safe, because he's the epitome of an alpha male. And we know it's because of what they're paying you, not because you really believe it. To me, that is so disgraceful, distasteful, whack, weak, woeful. It just makes me so mad. And I'm not going to unleash, but it's just a sad state of affairs where she's at. And I have more thoughts on her, but I'm just going to go ahead and be quiet. That's all. Next up, let's talk about something funny. Let's talk about Dennis. And we've seen the Portia Simon things play out. Well, Dennis seems to be on his baby mama's side.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
His caption says, #CityBoys. At City Boys, y'all be safe out here. We down like 100,000 this week. And remember, always give #HD, not #ED. Money not enough, my boy. I said, Dennis is getting in on the mess. He said, I'm going to have my baby mama's back, okay? when she's talking about Simon and his ED. These men out here are messy, honey, but it is funny. Like I said, Dennis said he got his baby mama back. Always give hashtag HD, not hashtag ED. Oh, y'all, it just dawned on me. I promise you, like I saw this a couple days ago and had it marked to talk to y'all. I was like, what does HD mean? Is he talking about always give head and not ED? But I just realized that ED, erectile dysfunction, penis isn't hard. So HD, so he's saying always give hard. Is that what he's saying? Is that what HD means? That's what I'm thinking. And then the song, It Wasn't Me. Is that because of Simon coming out saying that he wants Portia to give an explanation of her relationships with McKinley, Dennis, and some other people? I'm thinking that's probably why he's playing the song It Wasn't Me. If that is the case, then maybe it's not even him being on his baby mama side. It's just him being like, child, it wasn't me. Don't get me caught up in this madness, and I'm about to be messy for a little bit. Child, who knows? Moving on. Let's look at this. I know y'all, I should have kept it. I know y'all have seen this. I want y'all's opinions, what y'all think. I know y'all probably have watched it 19,000 times, but we're going to watch it together again. Look at this.
What's up, baby? How you doing? Good to see you, man. Everything good? How you doing, Mike? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Y'all want to do this? Yeah, real quick. This is fire. Love this. Love this. Dion will love this. Absolutely. I'm more.
Jonathan and them lips, boy. I just wanted y'all to see it again.
Good to see you, man. Everything good? How you doing, Mike? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Y'all want to do this? Yeah, real quick. This is fire. Love this. Love this. Dion will love this. Absolutely. I'm more.
All right, y'all. What y'all think? Now, I had heard two things. I didn't see it myself, but I heard that someone was talking about this particular event that they were at and said that inside Michael had been talking to Jonathan and had seen him already. So maybe that's why they didn't speak, that they had all been talking or whatever. Which, if he had already seen them, meaning Meagan and Jonathan, and had been talking to them, then why would he come out and pick Meagan up like he hadn't seen her? I don't know. So maybe the person was saying he was talking to Jonathan inside. I don't know. Then I heard that on Megan's Shannon Sharp interview, I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. I'm probably going to listen to it today, that she basically felt like God was telling her to protect Jonathan, be there for him, and her friends weren't for it. And someone said maybe Michael was one of the friends that wasn't for it and so didn't speak to him. I'll say this. To me, that hug, outside of the Jonathan thing, just him coming up and hugging Meagan like that, to me, it gave like my little sis, this is my sis hug, not like a sexual hug or anything of a sexual nature. Again, in my opinion, it didn't give that. It just gave big sis, little sis. I will say, because, everything isn't always something, sometimes it's like we see things or hear a thing and we make it something. And I feel like everything isn't always a thing. However, in this case, I was watching Jonathan's body language and like how he's fiddling with the glasses and acting like, I don't know. I just felt like, and how he didn't even put his arm around Meagan and she kind of pulled him to her, and how she looked at him after the hug. I feel like he wasn't too pleased about it. And maybe it's not even about him thinking Michael wants his woman. Maybe it's just about, maybe he's a controlling person. I don't know. The body language and his facials to me were giving something, like maybe he was annoyed or irritated, not necessarily angry, but something to me wasn't quite kosher. I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all think No, it was just a case of him trying to focus on putting them glasses up and putting something in his bag. And maybe that's why Michael didn't dap him up, because he was putting something in his bag and his hands weren't free. I don't know. What y'all think? Y'all let me know. We watched it twice. Give me your honest thoughts. And let me know if when you first saw the video, you felt one way, but then you watched it again and picked up on some other things, or maybe not and felt a different way. Y'all let me know. All right, moving on. There's two more things, y'all. Let's talk about Rick Ross and The Game. So this is according to the Jasmine brand. The Game slams Rick Ross for seemingly gloating over reports he may lose his home after failing to pay $7 million in a sexual battery case. The rap boys are fighting still. Rappers The Game and Rick Ross have been taking shots at one another for some time now. The latest round of their ongoing feud involved the possibility of a home being seized, Ozempic, and Twinkies. Also recently reported, Jayceon Taylor, known as The Game 44, is allegedly facing the possibility of losing his Calabasas, California home due to his failure to pay the $7 million judgment awarded to Priscilla Rainey. The woman sued the How We Do artist for sexual battery following an incident that occurred while filming the rapper's dating reality show in 2015. Still having not received the majority of the payment, so I'm wondering if she received at least something, because I had heard that he hadn't paid anything. But the way this is worded, still having not received the majority of the payment versus still having not received any payment. But anyway, still having not received the majority of the payment, Rainey recently filed to have The Game's property seized. Appearing to gloat over the news, Rick Ross, born William Roberts, 48, shared a report on the matter to his IG story and added a GIF of a dancing man. All these, so sick of all these ads always showing up. I was going to show y'all. I could have just left it on share for all of this. So this is the GIF. A GIF of a dancing man, a money gun, a money pal. The Game may, and then the article, The Game may lose house over 7 million court loss to Priscilla Rainey. And then he hashtag Los Angeles Confidential. He has butterflies on it. So this is what Rick Ross posted, right? This dancing man, this money gun, all of this. Reacting to Ross directly tagging him in the post, The Game fired back with his own IG story. His post featured a screen grab of Ross's upload with the caption, "Even if I lost my house, which I'm not, you still gonna be a fat bit nigga. That Ozempic gonna kill you before the Twinkies do, you hoe nigga." So this is it right here. "Since we atting niggas, here you go, B. At Rich Forever." Ciao. At the time of this report, it seems that the men have retreated to their respective corners. However, given their track record, it's only a matter of time until they're duking it out again. Ciao, they are on stories and everything. It's like the never-ending story. You know what? If The Game's home is seized and he loses it because he was convicted of actual assault and didn't pay, so be it. Pay up. Period. I guess he wouldn't be, if he needed the money, he wouldn't be able to go to Rick for a loan though after all this, right? All right, and last story, I want to know how y'all feel about this. Martin Lawrence set to produce Martin prequel drama series. Lovers of the 90s TV will soon have another revived fave to tune into. Martin Lawrence, star of the hit sitcom Martin, is set to executive produce a prequel hour-long drama series about his beloved character Martin Payne. The project, rightfully titled Young Martin, is a collaboration between the Bad Boys actor production company Run Tell That and Marvin Pert's Wonder Hill Studios. According to a synopsis from Deadline, the show is a contemporary origin story centering on Martin Payne, a charismatic teenager navigating the complexities of transitioning from youth to adulthood. It reimagines the character played by Lawrence on Martin, paying homage to the original show. Young Martin will explore themes of family, friendship, and life through the eyes of a teenage Martin Payne. Wonder Hill CEO Marvin Perf spoke highly of the project, saying, "Out of all the hit shows during the 90s, there was only one Martin, a show that defined culture and positivity. Martin reflected a real group of friends from our community that wound up on TV screens all over the world. He added, I respected and revered Martin Lawrence for creating Martin Payne and what he did for African Americans on television in front and behind the camera. In many ways, he influenced my path in the entertainment industry, and it's an honor to partner with Martin and his younger self and share him with the next generation of fans. Martin Lawrence isn't the only entertainer to have a comedy show return as a drama. As you may recall, Will Smith's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was rebooted in 2022. The reimagined version, Bel-Air, quickly became a hit, and the third season is set to premiere on August 15th, 2024. So are y'all excited about that? I figured it would be along the lines of Bel-Air when they said drama. I liked Bel-Air, and I ended up falling off. I don't know why. It was a good show. My daughter was watching it, and then me and her dad started watching. He may be caught up, but I kind of fell off. I may need to jump back into it because it was a good show. I really liked it. But what do y'all think? Are y'all excited about this new show, this prequel? I think that I have to get out of the mindset of Martin as I knew it. Like, enjoy the reruns, enjoy the clips, all of that, but give this show a chance to stand on its own. So we shall see. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Were y'all fans of Martin? I love Martin. I was getting ready to come back, and I think I have opened up a YouTube video before saying, "Did you miss me? Did you miss me?" From what was that? Von. One of y'all told me who it was before. It was the episode with Vonell. Was his name Vonell on the show? Tommy Davidson's character. That's one of my favorites. Child, when the Varnell Hill show, I think, and Martin came out in that wife beater with Jodeci, and years later, it's come out. Jodeci has said that they didn't even know that was happening. I can imagine before it wasn't, and before all the tension, it was probably a fun set to work on before all the chaos with Martin and Carl Payne and then some of the others. But even with all that, they did their thing. I really loved that show. Even my dad watched that show. He didn't watch stuff like that really, but I mean, he watched TV, but not really. But he really liked Martin. I love that show. And then when Martin got into exercising, and then was leading the exercise class, and Kimberly Reese, I know that's not her real name, y'all, but from A Different World, was the class leader at first. Martin took over. And at the end, Gina had to tempt him with his mama biscuits. And when they was going back in the room, he said, grab the gravy bowl, baby. We're going to do some things. I loved that show. But I'm going to give this this reboot, or this prequel, rather, not a reboot. It's prequel, a chance. I wonder if they're going to mix any of the other characters and tell their story. Like, not just, is it just going to be Martin, or is it going to be Cole's character and Gina's character and Pam's character and Tommy, rest in peace, Tommy's younger selves? Are they going to be involved in it? I'm going to give it a chance, and I will say I'm a little excited about it. Again, y'all let me know what y'all think about that, about the game and Rick Ross and their beef, what y'all think about Michael Ealy, Jonathan Majors, and Meagan Good. Dennis jumping in saying it wasn't me. Always give hashtag HD, not hashtag ED. Money is not enough. But it should be enough to fix the problem, though, right? Isn't there things out there? Anyway, what y'all think about Amber Rose? Alec Baldwin's case was dismissed, and the story about Diddy and the former Vibe editor. I love y'all so much, and I will talk to y'all later. See ya.